What's good, ladies and gents? My name is Lee Kaysen, and this is RiceCube Tech. Okay, you know what? This jacket, it's gotta come off. It is way too hot for this. Alright guys, once again, this is Lee Kaysen with RiceCube Tech, and I can assure you that this video is not clickbait. Now the title is true. I did indeed take this photo with a $270 smartphone. Now, a little bit of backstory on why I wanted to create this video. I get asked a lot of questions on the kind of camera that I use to take my Instagram photos. I currently am shooting on a Lumix G7, and I did indeed just pick up a brand new Sony a7 III. However, I shoot actually 60 to 70% of my photos on my smartphone. Now, there's a lot of great phones out there now that take amazing photos. You have the iPhone XS, the Google Pixel 3, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. However, I took my photo on the commercial flop of a phone known as the Essential PH1. In 2017, the Essential PH1 debuted at $700. Now, this was a fairly normal flagship phone price. However, being a startup company, Essential lacked a lot of the resources that Samsung, Apple, and Google have to make a fantastic phone. The build quality was absolutely phenomenal. It had a titanium rim and ceramic back with Gorilla Glass 5 on the front. However, the biggest problem of the phone was the lack of a good camera app. There's absolutely no reason Essential shouldn't be able to take great photos. They have the hardware, they have dual cameras, they have wide apertures, the whole 9 yards. The problem is the lack of proper software. Essential has not been able to successfully create a camera app that fully utilizes those camera hardware features. However, I did manage to find a workaround. So on Android forums, you can find a lot of APKs and like third-party software features. So I downloaded one that's called the Google Pixel Camera APK. And what this does is it allows any phone with a Snapdragon 820, 821, 835, or 845 to use Pixel 2's features, which include portrait mode, HDR, HDR Plus Enhanced, panorama, slow motion, etc. Using these features coupled with a lot of editing in mobile Lightroom and lens distortions, I was able to create this awesome photo, which is just proof that you don't need expensive cameras or expensive phones for that matter to take good pictures. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm going to walk you through a quick tutorial on what I did to get these photos to look the way that they did. Alright guys, so right now we have the photo opened up into Lightroom Mobile. Now, the photo itself doesn't look too bad right now, but we do want to make it have a little bit more pop before we go ahead and put it into lens distortions. So the first thing we're going to do is adjust the light tab. So we're gonna go and we're going to adjust the exposure by about 0.5 stops. Now, the next step is to adjust the contrast. We're going to bring that up to about 4. Next, we're going to the highlights, which is the brighter parts of the image, and we're going to bump that up to about 8. Lastly, in the light tab, we will go to the whites, which we will also bump up to an 8. This allows us to have a bit of a cleaner white background, and it gives the subject a bit more pop. Next, we're going to the color tab. Here, we're going to adjust the temperature first, and we're going to take that to about a +8. Now that's going to give the photo an overall a bit more warmer tone. Next, we're going to the tint, which we will raise to 4, and that's going to bring out the skin tones. Next, we will go to the HSL sliders tab. So the first thing is the hue, which we will take to about a 73. Next, we have our saturation of the reds, which we will take to about 22, and we will leave the luminance where it is. The next thing is the oranges. So we are going to adjust it by about +2 in the hue and about 12 in the saturation. Next, we are going to bring it up to about 24 in the luminance category. The next step is our blues. So we are going to take this all the way down to a -100 to bring out the teal color in her jacket. Next, we are going to the saturation, which we will bump all the way up to 72 to really make those blues pop. And then the luminance up to 24 just to make them a little bit brighter. Next, we are going to the Violet tab. Here we're going to take the hue up to about a 61. Next, we're going to take our saturation up to about a 43. And then to make it not super bright, we are going to take the luminance down all the way to a -89. And that should complete it for the purples. We're going to go ahead and export it. We're going to hit share, and then we're going to go to lens distortions. So we're going to hit the second classic light hit, and we're going to drag it outside the window to kind of have a cast coming into Lily's face. And then we're going to go to the softness, and we are going to adjust it and bring it all the way up. And what that does is it allows the light to not come in super harshly. And then we can go to the contrast and saturation to change how dark or how bright the light is, and also whether it's super warm or only slightly warm. Personally, I like a slightly middle saturation and a relatively low contrast with a high softness. Then we're going to hit the save button, and that's it. Alright guys, so that's a relatively easy fix for getting great photos on cheap hardware. Now you do need a relatively new phone to do this, about 2016 or so, with the Snapdragon 820. However, you can get used Galaxy S7s for pretty cheap, or you can go the route that I did and get the Essential phone for only $270. You absolutely can take these kinds of photos on any, iPhone or Android equivalent. You don't need fantastic hardware to take good photos. You just need to know how to work with your light and work with editing and post-processing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys all have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Lee Kaysen, and this is RiceCube Tech.